To Moonlight Madness, and today we're using the phone handheld. It's not on a stand or anything because the sound is not working properly with my iPad, so we're using the phone. However, we will get better sound with it. That's why I'm doing it. So the first card I've pulled, and I'm using my little pointer, my selenite, and I've got my black onyx on the Ace of Cups. It talks about new love. A brand new love is coming for you. An intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current love. So if you're currently in a relationship, you're married, you're partnered, then you're going to go through a type of awakening where you rediscover each other's strengths and weaknesses and the reason why you fell in love in the first place is what I'm seeing here. It's a rebirth, and this is a baby. You may have just had a baby. A second child, a third child. I'm seeing a child that's just been born, or it could be just the birth of the relationship. So in 1 month's time, there's either a rebirth in the relationship, or an actual child being delivered. This is for fire signs. Now I've put the black onyx because that represents water, and that helps to protect and ground people that are very emotional. And I think this might be a very emotional time for this fire sign. What I've got crossing the path is like a second marriage. If you're not married yet, you will be getting married. The Four of Wands is also talking about a move to a home, a new home, where you find peace and happiness and a contented personal life. Perhaps the castle that you used to live at no longer provides the protection you used to once enjoy, and that you don't find any peace there anymore. Time to move, either job or house. That's the fire sign. Then you've got down the bottom the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups represents the coming together, the union. So when you both got together, this is if you're with someone right now, is when you first fell in love. So I've got the rose quartz on top of that, which represents love. Two hearts that beat as one, opposites attract. Notice they've got pink and green. Pink and green represents love. It's all about love. Green is the heart chakra, pink is the love aura. If you want to attract a lover, you wear peach. If you are in love, you wear pink. Notice she's got peach on. She's got a peach dress. Green is healing. So he must have healed your heart. I'm saying he. They must have healed your heart in order for you to get together. Maybe you had trust issues and they undid them and made them come to light. Now we've also got the feather to represent air. In a past relationship, you were involved with an air sign, that is Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, who I've got here lapis lazuli, which is for intuition. They may have been highly intuitive. They're very strong, very patient, very self-sufficient. They may used to journal a lot. I'm getting the pen is mightier than the sword. Back in the 1800s, they used to use a quill, and the quill would have been looking something like this, and then they'd dip it in the ink. So maybe you need to express yourself through your words, through poetry, through how you feel. And it says, let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now's the time to focus on your career. You were an unmarried or divorced individual. So maybe you were involved with someone that was married in a previous time before they met you, and you're their second marriage. Or this is your second marriage with someone who's an air sign, or they have strong placements in air. So they could be an earth sign, but they have strong placements in air. And it also suggests military background. So the last person you were with did not work out. So this is your second time around as you're a divorcee and now you're remarried. You've got the Eight of Cups coming up for you. This is a beautiful card. This says in 8 months' time. So in 1 month's time there's new love, or there's a rebirth of the love that you currently have. And I put the seashell to represent water. So in 8 months' time it talks about packing up and leaving a life that you no longer choose to live in. Major life decisions. Maybe something went down with the house that you lived at, or there was a change of government, or there's something that you don't agree with and you're going, I'm not going to work with this. This is not what I want. And we've got turquoise border, so that talks about balance. You need balance, and right now you don't feel balanced in your home. It's full of arguments and fights because there's a new government that you don't agree with. And notice I've got a peach candle. That's when you want to attract love. So then we've got, in the future, we have citron, which is luck and energy, but we've also got, this is you, you're coming up as yourself in the future. you are shown as the optimistic, enthusiastic, creative, energetic person that you are. You may have ADHD. She's got red on, so she's a go-getter. It's time to go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizons and let your creativity take flight. So you may be going to do different scenarios that involve what you currently do, but you may be trying different avenues in order to express yourself. You may get bored really quickly, so you might get from 0 to 100 really quick with your temper, but also you get bored quickly. So you need to keep yourself constantly learning and expressing yourself, whether it be through singing, dancing, acting. I'm not sure. Singing, dancing, acting, poetry, expression with a pen and paper. Maybe that's what your partner needs to do, but you need to express yourself. And if you don't, then you find that you've got all this energy you can't contain and has to come out somewhere. So your best friend is running. Movement is really important to you, because if you're ADHD, you need to get rid of all that energy, or it gets built up to the point where you can't sleep. So it's like an insomnia. I've got the same problem. Then we've got the 9 of Wands. So in 9 days' time, 9 days' time, it's saying you're going to be doing something environmentally friendly, protecting the fruits of your labours, preparing for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation, maybe you will get aligned with helping out, volunteering with stopping people ravaging our seas, overfishing, what else can we say, burning fossil fuel, recycling. You may be on that path at the moment. In the next 9 days, you may assign yourself or affiliate yourself with an environmental cause that you believe in, like Greenpeace, for example. That's what's coming. I used to support Greenpeace for over 20 years. I forgot that I signed up to it. Funny, hey? Until one day I got my statement and went, I don't remember being with Greenpeace. And it had been 20 years later. I'd funded Greenpeace and I'd forgotten all about it. Yeah, I was young, I was 24, I was living in Sydney. So I watched this movie the other day and it really reminded me of when I was young and dumb. Yeah, I was blonde and people assumed I was just this young and dumb thing. Never was. But I played myself down because I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to expose myself. I didn't want to be vulnerable. But I was, because I was living in Sydney. And I tried to explain this to my son. When you move from a community-based small town where everyone knows everyone and then go to the big smoke, it's a huge wake-up call. I can remember walking with my then infant child in a pram, and some old lady fell over. And I ran to her aid and helped her pick herself back up. And she was shocked that I helped her, because everyone was like walking over her like she was roadkill, like it was full on. And I tried to explain it to my son. It actually, being in Sydney made me very cold. I had to harden up, because if I didn't, I would be swallowed up. So I watched this old series that I haven't seen in about 25 years called Dharma and Greg. And the reason I love that TV series is because I felt like I was Dharma. I was this hippie. So I went to Sydney, cut off all my hair like Dharma, because I love Dharma and Greg, and she ends up marrying this complete opposite, this snobby, stuck-up issue, coddled child, a lawyer, and I've always loved law, and she was so not what the family wanted. I felt like that when I met my then partner, so I completely identified with Dharma and Greg, and I miss that series, and she's so funny. The actress in that, and so is he, and it works really well. And Chuck Lorre was the guy that made that series, that also made Big Bang Theory, and I love both of those series. So it's funny, what I used to love became Big Bang, and then me and my son used to watch Big Bang Theory of an afternoon, and then he became a scientist. So it's funny, what we feed our children is what our children become. The other series I used to watch was Frasier, and Frasier was all about two brothers that were very competitive, and one of them was a psychiatrist and the other one was a psychologist. My youngest son is studying psychology, about to be a Bachelor of Psychology. So what we feed our children, unintentionally, we don't realise what we're feeding our children. Please be aware what you feed your children. That's the thing I have to have a message. So in regards to Earth, the only thing I could find was a gum nut. Just from outside, I found it. Put it on this card, which is 4 of Cups. This is you right now. You're very stagnant. This is stagnant energy. It's like water that's trapped that needs to be released, dirty water that needs to be emptied, rubbish that needs to be removed. watching your money, helping out those that are less fortunate. Maybe you want to try and donate clothing to like places like Lifeline, or donate your services, but it's saying you're watching your money, you're being careful, you're being frugal. And I think everyone has to do that, because right now we don't know what's happening, the world's a mess. That's what's around you. Your hopes and fears are the Two of Wands. Now this to me looks like my youngest son, Christopher, as a 10-year-old. He looks just like that at 10. And it's talking about indecision is make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others. Feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. So the Two of Swords to me is trying to figure out whether you want to go with your head or your heart. The song is always in his heart, that's music. But the head's telling him to do something mentally stimulating to give him the money to then go follow his passion, his sideline business, which is his music. I believe someone out there, this might be specific to someone, needs to follow their heart. And yes, maybe do your mental gymnastics and follow that path to satisfy your intellectual, your cerebral passion. But then you've also got this other side of you, which is all about music. And music expresses our heart and how we feel. And we need to express how we feel. The next card I pulled, and I've got Tiger's Eye. I can't find my carnelian. It's somehow rolled off the bench and I have to go look for it. It's really difficult. I think it's under the fridge. The Tiger's Eye is for protection and also represents the sign of Leo. You've got a Leo in your future, Sun, Moon or Rising. And it's also talking about return to good health. This is coming up for you. We've got, see all those sunflowers? They represent all these people trying to get your attention. Plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations and gratitude for your blessings. And yeah, you can toot your own horn because you earned this. This is success for the fire signs that I'm talking about. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you will achieve within record time. Unicorn's all about purification. Maybe you're on a diet or a fitness regime where you're trying to get healthy again. And I think if you've been sick, and I've been under the weather for about 3 weeks with this cold/COVID symptoms, you reevaluate what you do and not do want and do not want in your body. And I've discovered that I can't fathom food right now. I have no desire for food. I'm living off, baby satchels, yogurt. Yogurt's really good for the gut. I can't tolerate milk, so I'm not lactose intolerant, so I've gone back to yogurt. I used to eat yogurt all the time when I was younger, and I found it really helped. So sometimes the gut delivers the problem with the rest of the body. If the gut's got no microbes to kill off what's going on in the body, like a Inner Health or Yakult, then go for yogurt because it's a probiotic. You need a probiotic to kill off the germ in the stomach. And I believe that's what it is. It's a germ that I can't seem to shake. And it's everywhere. I've talked to everyone, and everyone's been saying they've got COVID symptoms. So then I went from that to, what was that? 3 weeks of COVID. And then a pigsty. Conjunctivitis. And that's when you run down. That's when you really run down. I haven't been this sick since 2015. That's the last time I can remember having conjunctivitis. So that means I'm really unwell. So I have to get myself flushed out with green tea, chamomile tea, orange juice to boost up my immune system, my iron levels, whatever you can find to flush it out. Lemon's really good to flush out bugs. But if you can get onto Yakult, probiotic, it's expensive to go and buy Inner Health, so you can just use yogurt. My kids had yogurt every day, and they rarely got sick. The only reason they got sick is because the fridge had seals that were damaged when I lived in Brisbane, and we all got food poisoning from it, which I didn't realise till 10 years later. So then we've got Inner Temple. This is from my other deck that I got gifted by a group of women, a women's circle called the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle cards. Brilliant deck. And it doesn't operate like a normal tarot deck. So we've got Inner Temple. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. I'm going to look it up because I don't really know these cards because I don't work with them a lot. And they're in a different type of category. Inner Temple is 70. Flicking, I'm using one hand to film and one hand to flick. So bear with me if it's a bit wonky. Okay. Inner Temple. You are being called to be a devoted student and tune into your heart, to incorporate true devotion into your life. You could be being called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, as I said before, this card, whoever you were with before or with currently, needs to express himself or herself through journaling, to writing down their thoughts in a book. I have a VARD, it's just a visual arts diary. Journaling, I draw the picture that I see in my head because I'm a psychic medium, and then I write about what I saw. It's saying to do that. You're being called to be a devoted student. Develop a regular meditation, or show up to your soul with rhythm, to develop a daily practice where you fill up your well and spend time with your soul. All of the answers to all the questions that you seek are waiting for you in the portal of your heart, but you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you, and so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. We are here to grow as souls. Earth is one big playground for the soul to learn, and you are being called to go deeper in your soul growth, or to increase your devotion by being a student or a lineage or a spiritual teacher. If you've already been a committed student, then you are being commended for your devotion. Your guides want you to know how proud of you they are, and that the time you spend in devotion is priceless. If you are questioning your career or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus towards devotion in this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, body and soul, and may my life be one big moving prayer. So you are the prayer. Whenever you pray for someone else is praying for you. You can hope and think that. Then we've got the Age of Light. It's a bit spiritual. It looks like an Egyptian. I still love that. Remember that song, Walk Like an Egyptian? I've always loved Egyptian things. It's my thing. I think I was one in a past life. I had visions of it, so I think I was. The Age of Light. Now, the Inner Temple was an action card. That's the action you need to take. Do the meditation. But what you've got as the Age of Light is an activation card, which is a different deck altogether. How you need to do the action is you need to activate it by following the Age of Light, which is 86. I'm flicking. Don't mind me, doing it with one hand. And I'm still sweating, which means I've still got the issue. 86. Yep. Yeah. Mystics, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate it in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. We're on the brink of war, are we not? I did also predict the Gaza war. I saw it 2 years before it happened. I drew it. I've got a visual diary of it and a date. If you are ever feeling unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that have breathed you into this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. So just be who you are. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is 1,000,000 times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all the people you've ever been with, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came in with a clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is part of you that belongs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward, that is ready to emerge, that is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth and be seen and rise. Very nice message for the fire signs. And in saying that, I was dreaming about a torch, looking for my grandfather. He lives in a nursing home, and I was checking on him because I haven't been able to see him because I've been sick with this COVID for the second time around ever since Christmas. As I said, it's been a recurring thing that's really hard to shake. I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to keep getting sick either. So I chose not to go to the nursing home. So I wanted to go visit him. So being an astral traveller, I can move between timelines, and I can go visit people if they're dead or alive. I can go visit you in your own house if I want to, when I'm asleep. I went and visited him in the nursing home, but I had a torch with me. I thought, what's that about? Turns out my son had a blackout on the Thursday when I was seeing me with a torch trying to find my son in the dark and my grandfather in the dark because there was a blackout, and I didn't know. He never said anything till 3 days later. That was 2.5 weeks ago. So I knew on some level that there was no power, and he used a torch. And I was visiting my grandfather because he was in the dark, because maybe he had a blackout too, I don't know. I don't get told these things because I can't go up to visit him. And then the funny part is there was a movie with Cara Delevingne called Paper something, I can't remember the last name, put it somewhere in the comments, where she's trying to get people to recognise that she's being abused in her own home. So she starts putting up newspaper clippings to put in a window to advertise that she's being abused, and people that she knows start coming to look for her because she goes missing, and they have a flashlight. That was my son's favourite movie, and we watched that back in 2016. I'm going to say 2016 because I lived at Bro Street at the time. I was picking up all that energy off a shirt that we bought back in 2016, 2018. I think 2018. I was picking up all that energy off that shirt. I was going backwards in time because that was when he was going through stuff he never talked about. He never told me a lot of things, and so I don't need to know a lot of things. I just have to pick up an item of his or do a massage on him, and then I can see stuff for him and see stuff from the past, present, and future. I couldn't see him today because I had a pink eye. I had pink eye, sty, and then I had, conjunctivitis on top of it. It's highly contagious. I can't do a massage when I've got a pink eye and conjunctivitis. So we're going to reschedule. But the point of the matter is, I can always read him. I just have to pick up something that he bought me. That's my way to connect, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you, Spirit Upstairs. That gives me the in messages, the inboxes, so I can always keep an eye on my son and make sure he's safe. And that's what any parent wants. But yeah, the Dharma and Greg thing was the best discovery I was able to watch. I haven't seen it for 20 years. And it still makes me laugh because it reminds me of how I was at that age. I was such a hippy-dippy, trippy girl that obviously that ex didn't like because they were so conservative. But I was fun. And I think that's I think that's why he was attracted to me, because he was so conservative and, responsible. And I was so irresponsible until I had children. Then I became his mother. And I think that's why he decided he didn't want me anymore, because I was his mother. He already had one of those. Anyway, that's reflection and it's personal and I shouldn't talk about it. But it was sad because we lost that spark. But back then we were just like that. It was like Dharma and Greg. He was the conservative. I was the outgoing, outspoken, pain in the ass girlfriend. And then fiance. And then mother of his children. Don't try and change anyone. I think that's the message I'm trying to put out here. Don't change people to be what you think that you want to fit your mould. Let them be them. If you try and change them, you're going to kill that relationship. You'll kill the chemistry and you'll definitely kill the marriage. That's all I have to say.